What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and it is Japanese Tuesday, so we get to look at another 3 decks that you might be interested in possibly playing for BT-11. So we interestingly want to show this off. So without further ado, let's talk about some of the decks that topped over the weekend. So first off, let's talk about the first deck. These are all decks that got topped first place in some capacity over the weekend or even last weekend. There are always a lot of cards to cover, and I figure it's very interesting to talk about JP's meta. So first off, we do have Marsmon. It has a new keyword that is called Raid. So when this Digimon attacks, you may switch the target of the attack to one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with the highest DP. So this will allow you to basically get rid of big threats off the board. And that's really awesome because sometimes you need that be able to remove the unsuspended Digimon. It does have when Digivolving Blitz, so this allows you to blitz in, which really does help out. And then your turn, when the attack of this Digimon switches, unsuspend this Digimon and gain 1 memory for each red tamer you have in play. So that gives us a lot of potential to remove threats off board, do some crazy shenanigans, and do this. What you find might interesting is Wolf Claw in this deck. What I found very interesting about it was that as well. The reason why Wolf Claw is so important because it chooses one of your Digi-Evolution source, one of your Digimon's Digi-Evolutions, and plays it as a separate Digimon without paying its memory cost. Why would that matter? They don't gain Rush or anything, right? Nope. Akihiko will allow you to do that. Her on-play ability reveals the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 red Digimon card with vaccine and its traits among them to your hand. Place the rain cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Really useful. And then when you play a red Digimon with bird, avian, beast, or 4 sovereigns or animal in its traits, except sea animal, by an effect, by suspending this tamer, it gains Rush for the turn, which really makes it very useful because you could bring out Marsmon. That would really help out. It gains Rush from underneath your Omnimon. Or you can bring anything that's under Marsmon through that effect, which really does help out. So that's why you got to play the Matt and Sora tamer here. Because start a main phase, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, gain 1 memory. We really need it just for the red source. But when one of your blue or red Digimon becomes unsuspended, you may suspend this tamer to return a opponent's level 3 to its owner's hand. Helps you out a lot there. Getting rid of annoying little threats like Solarmons or anything like that. Or Gaze's stuff. Just get them out of here. Another tamer you want to play is Hero because that added DP boost really does help out. And it also sets your memory to 3. And then Tai and Kari because of the fact is, if you're at 3 or fewer security, gain 1 memory. If your opponent is at 3 or fewer security, gain 1 memory. Always benefits that way, right? And then one of your red or yellow Digimon attacks, you may suspend this tamer to have all your opponent's security get minus 2000 DP. Makes it very easy for you to swing in with no worries. And of course, for removal, you want Sunrise Buster because for every play, 1 yellow or red tamer from your hand without paying its memory cost. And then for each of your one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for each of your red and or yellow tamers you have in play. So depending on our board state, we could remove Megas, even Omnimons very easily. And then we do play X Antibody because it can chain up, especially if you go into Blitz Omni and then you can go into Omnimon X Antibody because it can close out games in itself. And that's just really right there. You know, X Antibody is just nasty in himself. Yes, it costs 7, but when you're just blitzing in for game, removing a card from the stack as long as you have the X Antibody option really does help out. Because when a Digimon with X Antibody's Digi-Evolutions cards would Digivolve into this card, reduce the Digi-Evolution cost by 2. So it'll become a 5 cost. Not terrible. And then when Digivolving, return all your opponent's Digimon with the highest level to the bottom of their owner's deck in any order. When Digivolving, when attack, once per turn by placing 1 X Antibody or level 6 Digimon card from this Digi-Evolutions to the bottom of their owner's deck, reveal all your opponent's security cards and trash one of them. Place the rest in your opponent's security stack face down, then your opponent shuffles that stack. Sometimes you just need that 1 extra attack, and that gets you there. So that's something to think about. And then Rise Greymon's in here because really the bottom end isn't really necessary. Rise Greymon coming out and Digibursting for 2. getting new pieces out and then playing that tamer down really speeds you up. And I kind of see where this is going. And then being able to, if you have a tamer in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn, really does add up numbers quickly. And then using Rise Greymon X Antibody, being able to Digivolve on top of a Rise Greymon for 1. Not bad. When Digivolving, you may play 1 yellow or red tamer from your hand without paying its memory cost. Then if Rise Greymon or X Antibody is in its Digi-Evolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for each yellow or red tamer you have in play. And then your turn, for each tamer you have in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Really helps out, clears out game. Leomon has Raid as well, being able to switch attacks up. Really can apply pressure, but also its inheritable is really nasty. When the attack of the target of this Digimon switches, trash 1 card of your opponent's security stack. Boom. Removes options really quickly and helps you win games. Gunimon, Hybrid Game Shenanigans. It's just basically Blitz Omnimon for a 2 cost at least without having Blitz. Blocker Birdramon, just another blocker. But on deletion, you may play a red tamer without playing its cost. Play cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. So basically, let's say you lose your stack. As long as you have Birdramon in there, you get a free tamer out of the deal. Not a bad trade-off. Grizzlymon has Raid, and then when the attack target of this Digimon switches, gain 3000 DP, makes more magic numbers. Solarmon to slow down your opponent's Death X's and stuff like that. Really, and, Cross Hearts and all that good stuff. You have Bearmon, so when the attack target of this Digimon switches, it gains 3000 DP, similar to Grizzly's bottom inheritable. And then you have Biomon here, so on deletion, you may, if you have a red tamer in play, gain 1 memory. And then on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon with Vaccine in his traits, and 1 red tamer among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Not a bad trade-off there. And then we do have Gurimon, so if this Digimon has 6000 DP or more, draw a card. I love it. I love this synergy here, and it'll be something I'm going to personally test out and hopefully add some tweaks and improvements on, shall we say. Next, we are wanting to talk about the Mastemon Lucemon deck. So people were asking about this. This got in the Hikari Cup top 2 teams event that they hosted. It was like a 2-person deck. Its partner deck had Black War Greymon in it. This was the first deck in the lineup. So it's just something to take a look at. We kind of know what Lucemons do because this one is reduce the play cost to 8, so it's no longer 13. Not a bad trade-off there, but on play recovery 1. And then all turns, this Digimon can only Digivolve into a Digimon with Lucemon in its name. Not bad for the climb. You can't Digivolve on the Digitama, but that's not terrible. I mean, we're not really looking for that anyway. And then let's go over more rookies. Psychmon is Psychmon. All turns, your players can't reduce play cost. Not bad. Ignitemon. So this card is basically when Digivolving by deleting one of your other Digimon. When attacking, not when Digivolving, sorry. Delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a level less than or equal to the deleted Digimon's level. Not bad. Be able to control board. All turns, when you play a Digimon by an effect, gain 1 memory. Really helps out. Extends plays. We know what Demi-Meridmon does. On deletion, draw a card. Nothing too crazy. Eismon Scatter Mode. On deletion, draw 3 cards. Trash 2 cards. Not terrible. Gatomon is basically the bread and butter of this deck. On play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 yellow Digimon card and 1 purple Digimon card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. And when this Digimon would Digivolve into a card with Archangel or Fallen Angel in its traits, reduce the memory cost of that Digi-Evolution by 2. So, not a bad trade-off. Digivolve for 1. And then end of turn, you may DNA Digivolve one of your other Digimon in play with a Digi-Evolution with a Digimon in your hand by paying its DNA Digi-Evolution cost. Usually that's free. Not terrible. We have the new Lady Deva, because when Digivolving, you may trash 1 card in your hand. If you do, return 1 Mirai, or 1 card with Angel or Archangel or Fallen Angel in its traits from your trash to your hand. And then your turn, when you play Angelwomon or Mirai, gain 1 memory. Reduces the cost, really helps out. Bonus turn, when you have a yellow Digimon in play, all your Digimon with Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel gain Retaliation, so they can't easily just swing into it. They have to remove it some other way. Then we have Neo Devi, because if they are playing Tamers, you can punish them heavily with this card. And then if you Digivolve up, you can at least, when your opponent's Tamer becomes suspended, gain 1 memory. Applies pressure really ridiculously. Then Lucemon Chaos Mode. This card really screws your opponent over. Your Lucemon can Digivolve into this card in your hand for a memory cost 7. Ignoring this card's Digievolution requirements, for every 10 cards in trash, reduce the memory cost of when playing this card from your hand by 3. So it's not a bad trade-off. It can get really less. Not a bad gig there. On play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Tamers or level 6 or lower Digimon. Really helps control boards. Magna Angemon, on play, trigger recovery 1. Not bad. And then this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for every 3 security cards you have. And then you have Angelwomon here. On play, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security -2 until the end of your opponent's next turn. When you have a purple Digimon in play, this Digimon gains security +1. Applies pressure there. Ophanimon Fall Down Mode. Hopefully you're gaining some recovery out of this. Plus being able to delete one of your opponent's level 4s. But if on deletion for any reason, you get a free Gatomon. Basically, that is your goal, to replay Gatomon and set up and just go back into stuff. So that's just kind of what your goal there is. Then Mastemon's your Jogress. This is a beast in itself because she can just get you a free Lucemon, pop a Tamer, or pop a Digimon you don't like. Really sets you up really nicely. When Digivolving, place 1 yellow or purple Digimon card from your trash on top of your security stack face down. So this is a free no matter what happens. But when you DNA Digivolve, you may search your security stack for 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card and play it without paying its memory cost. If you didn't DNA, you instantly just put a card there and then you shuffle. So, not bad. And then all turns, when you play another Digimon by an effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with whose level is less than or equal to the played Digimon's level. Really powerful. Then you have Death X for board control, removal, de-Digivolving. You know the fun drills here. And it comes in smaller and smaller. Then you have Dead or Alive to play 1 purple level 5 card from your trash. If they hit this in security, it's really nasty because that's a whole plethora of threats that they weren't ready for. But also, if you have 10 or more cards in trash, instantly that's a free Lucemon. Not bad. And then Flame Hell Scythe. One of your opponent's Digimon gets -6000 DP for the turn. Then you may play 1 purple or yellow Digimon card with 6000 DP or less from trash without paying its memory cost. Not bad there. Then we have Chaos Degradation, being able to be really the only removal that kind of gets things off the board that you don't like. Place one of your opponent's Digimon face down at the top or bottom of your opponent's security stack. If you do, trash the top card of your security stack. But if they hit this in security, that's basically put it to the bottom. They're never going to see it again, kind of deal. And then they just get a free recovery. Not bad. And then Mirai herself, start a turn, you gain 1 memory. Your turn, when your Digimon digivolves into Angelwomon or Lady Devi. If you have 1 or less Digimon in play, by suspending this Tamer, you may play 1 Angelwomon or Lady Devi from your hand with a different name from that Digimon that is digivolved without paying its memory cost. So this just speeds up your clock. Really powerful at the end of the day. I think this is very solid. Hopefully it does more results, but if not, we'll have plenty more cards to talk about. Next, we're going to talk about Galacticmon. Galacticmon can digivolve on top of a Snatchmon for a 9 cost. Kind of disgustingly expensive, but there's a reason for that. So when digivolving, you may place up to 4 Venmon from your trash at the bottom of this Digievolution cards. Then if this Digimon has 8 or more Venmon in its Digievolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Really nasty, really quickly controlling. But all turns, when this Digimon would leave play, you may prevent it from leaving play by returning 4 Venmon from this Digievolution cards to the bottom of your deck. Basically makes some decent protection. It has leave play. So in any capacity, it can prevent. And then starter main phase, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So if this thing can stay on the board longer and longer and longer, it gets really nasty pretty quickly. Then we have Distromon. So it can digivolve for 6 on top of a Venmon, so it can warp into this. Not a bad trade-off there. When digivolving, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Place 1 Venmon from among them at the bottom of this Digievolution cards. Trash the remaining cards. Then if this Digimon has 5 or more Venmon in its Digievolution, delete one of your opponent's Tamers. Tamer popping. We like that. We need more Tamer popping as we get further. And then Opponent's turn, when your opponent's Digimon attacks by returning 2 Venmon from one of your Galacticmon's Digi-Evolution cards to the bottom of your deck, switch the target of the attack to this Digimon. Basically making it so they have to hit Big Boy. And then we have Snatchmon. So when Digivolving, you may place up to 2 Venmon from your trash to the bottom of this Digi-Evolution cards. Then, if the Digimon has 4 more Venmon in his Digi-Evolution cards, return 1 Fusionize from your trash to your hand. And then all turns, when you return a Venmon from this Digi-Evolution card to the bottom of your deck, unspin this Digimon gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. So, on top of this, on the redirect, it also has a protection bubble. That makes it so it's a blocker. So we have more annoyances that your opponent has to deal with this deck. So it has so much potential. Venmon itself, you can include 50 of this card. We're not going to play 50. About 20 or 18 seems fine. By suspending this Digimon, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Snatch, Destromon, Galacticmon, or Fusionize from among them to your hand. Place 1 Venmon from among them at the bottom of this Digi-Evolution card. Return the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. That's important, boys and girls, because if we're putting stuff at the bottom of the sources, we should be taking some advantage of that, right? Right. So Venmon's also ability is, your turn when this Digimon would Digivolve into Destromon or Galacticmon, reduce the memory cost of the Digi-Evolution by 1. So, making that overly whopping 9 costs become less really does help out. And making that 6 cost become like a 3 cost, really nasty. And then you have Durimon, because when one of your Digimon effects places a Digi-Evolution card under this Digimon, draw a card. Durimon is really the only interaction you're going to have for added draw. Not bad. Especially how this card is played. At all, this is pretty good. And then Fusionize is when you would use this card, if you have a Snatchmon in play, reduce the memory cost by 1, becomes 0. By placing 1 Venmon or Destromon from your trash at the bottom of one of your Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into Destromon or Galacticmon in your trash by paying its memory cost. So reduce costs, speeds it up, and does some crazy shenanigans. And then you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, play 1 Venmon amongst them without paying its memory cost, trash the rest. So we're going to speed through our trash pretty quickly. Ultimate Flare just helps to keep board threats off. Really useful. Pride Memory Boost. Reveal top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 black Digimon card with a play cost 4 or less among them without paying its memory cost. Trash the remaining cards. So you basically are just you're going for your Venmon and speeding it up. And then delay gain 2 memory. Not bad at all. Then you have 2 Tai Kamiya for that beautiful setting yourself to 3, but opponent's turn, all your black Digimon gets 1000 DP. Since we're in the black category, we're going to have some big beef sticks. And then Analog Youth to hopefully get you more pieces. Yes, we're milling out stuff, but we have ways of bringing those pieces back under our Digimon anyway. So it's not a bad trade-off. The deck is kind of suicidal in a way, just because of how fast this can mill. So something to just keep an eye out. And then when one of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Digi-Evolution cards is deleted by spending this tamer, you may gain 1 memory, hatch 1 egg to an empty space in your breeding area. Just some food for thought. This deck is pretty solid in my opinion. I don't know what else you would play in it, but let me know down in the comments. Are you guys excited for BT-11 stuff? And guys, remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!